hyperdrive now.
Dai deserti arabi verso un gioiello incastonato nel mare scintillante. L'isola, sede di una cultura antica, una bellezza senza paragoni. Ma il cambiamento sta arrivando, il caldo sta aumentando e il fuoco non mostra pietà. Mentre nuvole di cenere raggiungono terre lontane, ma i nostri guerrieri non hanno paura. Corriamo per il cambiamento, per il futuro, per l'isola.
Hello and welcome to Sardinia for round 2 of the Extreme E Championship and the NEOM Island X Prix, as we race to raise awareness of some of the biggest environmental issues on the planet.
I'm Jenny Gow, one half of your commentary team. Andrew Coley is the voice you just heard alongside me, and Laura Winter is in the paddock for us, as we see if anybody can stop the dominance of Nico Rosberg's team RXR. This is round 2 of the Extreme E Championship, and we've already had plenty of action out on track, with more reliability woes for some, a first-time top qualifier, and 2 new drivers to add to the mix. Here's a look at some of the best bits so far. This is the NEOM Island X Prix.
Day 1 and Q1. This session, of course, is individual drivers, individual cars, one at a time. Each driver does a lap, and the accumulative time of both gives that team their position overall. First up were RXR, winners of round 1 in Saudi Arabia. Michaela Arlen-Kotlinski taking to the wheel first of all. She handed over, of course, to reigning champion Johan Kristoffersen. They set a time which would not be bettered. Others tried and failed. Veloce, broken right front suspension, and a similar outcome, unfortunately, for Tanner Faust and McLaren. He was left stranded on the course too. No such problems for X44 initially. Sebastian Loeb was flying through the Continental Traction Challenge, but unfortunately pushed a bit too hard and pushed his tyre off the rim. The resulting tyre change cost them around 2 minutes. But a great run on the second lap by Cristina Gutierrez salvaged some of their result at least. Laya Sanz and Carlos Sainz almost got to the top step, but not quite. They were some 10 seconds back from RXR. Andretti United also with a good run for Katie Munnings and Timmy Hansen, but nobody could match the pace of Arlen-Kotlinski and Kristoffersen. On then to Q2 and the race portion of the day. Johan Kristoffersen off the line, getting squeezed from both sides, but managed to get the whole shot. Katie Munnings had taken an alternate route and got into P2, while Kyle LeDuc passed Timo Scheider and then almost immediately pulled up with more problems for the Hummer EV. Scheider passed Munnings on the run down to the finish of the first lap, and on lap 2, some controversy in the yellow flag zone. Sebastian Loeb took an alternate route. Did he gain an advantage? Genesis Andretti United certainly felt so, as he took a pass on them in the Continental Traction Challenge. The stewards did get involved, but no penalties were handed out. Loeb hunted down the Excite machine in front of him, but RXR took the win in Q2, and with that, their first ever top qualifier spot, and likewise, the first time ever the X44 haven't been top qualifiers. On to race 2, Carlos Sainz, Fractiona Sainz and Tanner Faust for McLaren coming together on the run down to the first merge. Behind them, Jutta Kleinschmidt slotted in. It was Sainz with the whole shot. Kleinschmidt actually ended up running wide in the dust in the background, while Tanner Faust took an alternate line down to waypoint 3 and got himself up into P2. Come the switch, Emma Gilmore left, and behind her, Lance Woolridge seemingly breaking the pit speed limit as he exited the switch zone, and they got a penalty for that, a problem with the car. Later on in the race, Gilmore, of course, behind with the dust, just couldn't see where she was going, lost a little bit of time. Woolridge was impressive, and it wasn't really his fault, but a penalty all the same. Sainz and Sanz took the win. JBXE almost caught up to McLaren. This was how the points stood at the end of qualifying. Kristoffersen and Arlen-Kotlinski with the top qualifier spot. Sainz and Sanz in P2, Loeb and Gutierrez third. And on the right-hand side, how they slot into their 2 semi-finals and the crazy race. Top 2 go through from each of the semis. The winner of the crazy race goes through also.
So, the penalty for Veloce, meaning that JBXC got promoted to third in their heat, which unfortunately for Abt means they dropped into the crazy race. There was plenty of controversy and plenty to catch up on.
Congratulations, Michaela. Johan, RXR are top qualifiers for the first time in Extreme E history. Your reaction to it?
I'm super happy, of course. I mean, we had a good run this morning. Johan did an epic start in Q2, and I just took it home from there, but so happy.
Johan, I know you will contest that stat, but officially it's the first time you are TQ.
Yeah, it's the first time we got a maximum points for it, at least, because we were fast in the Saudi season when we got a penalty. But overall, it was a very good day for us. I mean, we felt comfortable straight away from free practice yesterday, and I think this track suits me and Michaela as well. And we come a little bit from circuit racing background, so we are good on improving on the tracks that we already know. So a good day for us.
And you've broken X44's record as well. And Michaela, saying in commentary, it seems that you're really growing in confidence within this team and within the car. Is that fair to say?
I would say so, yeah. I mean, last year coming into Extreme, we hadn't done any off-roading like this, but now I feel very confident with the team and also with Johan as a teammate and with the car. And I feel that, you know, we're taking step by step all the time. There is no like rush or pressure, just try to do the best that I can. And we are really working as a team to get, you know, the best result that we can get.
And Johan, it's all going very well so far. Actually, the sights are looking quick though as well. What are you expecting tomorrow?
Yeah, it will be a tough race for sure. I mean, X44 got the super sector from us now. Obviously, it was very difficult when the track condition was so rough out there now for Q2. But signs are looking strong. But also, we can't forget X44. They will come back stronger after some issues they had in Q1. So and there is many other teams out there which are very fast. So we just have to make a good start, and then let's see.
They'll all be after you, won't they? Well, well done, TQ for today. Thanks very much.
Extreme E is a fully electric off-road championship racing on the most challenging terrains across the globe. 10 world-class teams, each fielding one male and one female driver in gender-equal lineups. In each session, both drivers will compete behind the wheel of the Odyssey 21 electric SUV, with a driver changeover, the switch, halfway through. Each driver gets an NEOM hyperdrive boost in every session, giving them an increase in power to provide thrilling overtakes. There are also bonus points available for the fastest team through the Continental Traction Challenge section of the course over the weekend. Day one is qualifying with a round of time trials followed by a round of head-to-head races. This decides how teams line up for Day 2's racing. Day 2 sees high-speed knockout racing with the goal of reaching the final. First up are the two semi-finals, where the top two teams progress from each. Then it's the last chance to progress in the winner-takes-all crazy race. Fans can vote for their favourite driver in grid play, with the winning team able to select their grid spot for the final first. The 5-car main event sees the teams battle it out to be crowned X3 winner and bag 25 championship points. The team with the most points after 5 races will be crowned Extreme E champions.
Well, it's almost time for semi-final one, and I'm joined by RXR's Johan Kristoffersson, of course, after their first TQ yesterday. I'm going to show you a diagram that Johan has just drawn me. This is your reasoning, your explanation for why you chose grid position 1, isn't it? Because obviously, going from a 5-car to a 3-car race, the grid positions have shifted somewhat. Explain it for us.
Yeah, so they slot always, the center car, they always slot in the center of the grid. So this will be crazy race with 4, and then 5 cars even tighter. So yesterday we chose number 2, which was more or less where number 1 is now. So we basically, choose the same slot on the grid, or same position on the grid as we did in Q2.
So you're pretty sure that's going to be the fastest line off the start, and important here to get out in front, of course, with the dust.
We are not pretty sure, but we hope that it's going to be the best one. But it's going to be tricky. But yeah, Michaela starts. So usually in the past we've always I started the semifinals. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit different to stand on the side now and watch Michaela. But I have full confidence that she will make the best out of it. And yeah, let's see. I mean, we are up against some very tough competition with Andretti and Excite, but we'll try to do our best.
Why the switch? Putting Michaela first for the semi-final.
We made a stone, scissors, paper.
as scientifically done as that. Johan, thank you very much. Best of luck to you and your very well thought out diagram. Thank you. Of course, as Johan just said, Genesis Andretti United and Excite Energy are the two teams they are up against. We'll keep walking down the paddock. As you can see, it is still hot today, looking around 35 degrees Celsius, but there is a somewhat refreshing and relieving wind. But I mean, it's dusty, it's kicking so much up. We're all coming out at the end of the day absolutely filthy. Here is Genesis Andretti United, of course, Katie Munnings and Timmy Hansen. They were so furious after the qualifying yesterday. And I've just stumbled upon Katie. I was just saying that there was a lot of frustration from you yesterday, of course, alongside X44 with the no further action decision. You weren't particularly happy about that. How have you reflected on it today?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the stewards obviously have all the data. They can see things a lot clearer than what we can see in the command centre. So they always make the right decision, I think, for the championship, and they look at the situation impartially. I mean, we got jumped out of the car yesterday. We're full of emotion, adrenaline, and passion. So obviously, hearing news live on TV is always an interesting one. But yeah, I think in reflection, they do their job, and we always respect their decisions. And yeah, we're happy with our semi-final and the way that today will go, hopefully.
Yeah, full send of the semi-final. Thanks, Katie. Best of luck. Okay, let's move along then, because we've got another team to meet. We've got Tamara Molinaro, of course. She stepped into the car in Saudi Arabia because Clara Anderson tested positive for COVID. She's back in the car here, new driver pairing with championship driver Timo Scheider, next to the NEOM Clean Energy Station. We've just found you here. Tamara, talk me through your emotions, your feelings ahead of this semi-final with RXR and Genesis Andretti United, all to play for.
Yeah, of course. Me and Timo are more than ready to try to make it to the final. It would be great, even apart for us, but for the team as well. Would be their first final. They've been working so hard in these last days, in these heat and everything. They really deserve it, apart from anything else. So we are for sure trying to, we will give it everything, and we see.
We will see what happens. Thank you so much. Best of luck. Well, it's almost time for our first semi-final of the Island X Prix.
Semi-final time in Sardinia, round 2 of Extreme E 2022. We're about to see who's going to go through to the final. The first of 5 cars, of course. We'll have 2 going through from each of the semi-finals and 1 going through from the Crazy Race. You can see all the carnage that will undoubtedly ensue. One of mine and Jenny Gow's favourite bits of the weekend is when we get to go racing, and the drivers always get a little bit more risky at this point because they have to make it through.
Yeah, they really do. There is no sort of extra way in. There's no way around it. You've just got to gun it and see exactly what you can do. And I think the split actually is really interesting going into these semi-finals because we've got some really, really good talent out there, and it's going to be fascinating to see who can make their way through. Yeah,
and the first lineup down there on the grid already. Rosberg X Racing on the left-hand side of the grid, right-hand side as we're looking at it. Genesis Andretti United in the middle. And on the outside is Excite Energy Racing. Looking forward to this. Here we go.
Attention all teams, this is race control. Stand by for the start of the Island X Prix. Semi-final 1 is about to commence. Energize your systems and prepare to race.
Katie Munnings getting the race suit on, getting ready to go. Game face on.
1 minute.
1 minute to the start. Here we go.
Yep, limber up, we're in it. The Vodafone Business Command Centre looking resplendent with the second drivers all there. They will come out into the switch zone and take over, each doing 1 lap. And you can see everybody's smiling, everybody's happy at this point. Give it a couple more seconds and it'll be full-on concentration faces for our 3 drivers.
Yeah, Will. Michaela Ankolinsky, you saw, give the thumbs up. Bottom right, Timmy Hansen. Bottom middle. Bottom left, Tamara Molinaro. Remember, Timmy off the start here last year was super aggressive, moved across. He got a penalty for it, but don't put it past Timmy. He races so hard. He will do everything he can to try and get that whole shot. Remember, Katie Munnings was super fast yesterday as well. If he can get out in front, they could out-qualify Rosberg X Racing here, going through to the final. There's Tamara, 1 last pull on the belts. No more blinking now. Keep your eyes on those lights. Here we go. RXR with a lot of wheels still on the left-hand side of the grid. Timmy Hansen moving across to try and shut the door, gets into the rear corner but can't get there. Tomorrow Molinaro's taken an alternate route, definitely. You ride on board now. Big P2, Timmy Hansen looking at the back of the RXR machine. Oh, big sideways on the way in. Hansen looking up the inside line, going to get alongside here. Just might hold on if they get up to the next waypoint. Can't quite do it over the bumpy section there. Runs wide. RXR up onto two wheels, comes back down though. Andretti United has slotted into P3. That was an amazing start.
Yeah, Molinaro doing a brilliant job managing to get the car, but look, Hansen's gone wide right, trying to take an alternate line to try and make up time, and he has done that really well. Coming round through the inside, he moves for the move on Christopherson. There's a lot of contact here. There's not room for two through here, really, so it's going to have to shuffle out. Who's going to come out in the lead? That's the question. It's still Christopherson, but right alongside him, it's Hansen. They are battling for it down to the next marker point. Who is going to get this? What a fantastic battle.
So into the left-hander is Arlen Kotlinski, remember, who's holding on at the front from Hansen in P2. I'll tell you what, she's doing brilliantly because Timmy's raced her really aggressively there. Interesting, Timmy used that line that Tanner Faust used yesterday on the outside, still trying to find a way through, but Arlen Kotlinski just not giving quite enough space. Remember, Michaela's background is racing, so she's much more used to this car-on-car contact. She's done a brilliant job, and Jenny, these narrow sections don't give so many opportunities to overtake. But Molinaro, by the way, did a good job, didn't she? She got into P2 at the merge, so that alternate line, we saw it used yesterday, it does work off the start.
Certainly does. So Arlen Kotlinski leads from Timmy Hansen to Mara Molinaro in third. You can see visibility low out there, windscreen wipers going, and look, going for the pass then for Timmy Hansen. Is this the moment? I don't think it is. Waypoint clipped on the flag number 10. That could be an issue coming back to it, but we'll let the race control sort that out. At the moment, Arlen Kotlinski is making her Odyssey 21 as wide as possible, and Hansen cannot find a way through.
Hansen using the lobe line there on the way in, but unable to carry the exit speed because in front of him is that Rosberg X Racing machine. I'll tell you what, how many goes has he had? He's had to look up the inside 3-4 times. Now, you think he hit the waypoint marker on the way into the water splash?
One of them definitely did, and I couldn't work out exactly which one it was. We'll have to go back and have a look, and we'll try and send someone to do that right now, but I think it... Oh, wowzers! Look at that, a big bump. The back kicks up on both cars, but really aggressive for Arlen Kotlinski. Now, is Hansen going to go for it here? Gets very narrow, so it might be worth just biding his time and waiting until there's an appropriate point to get past Arlen Kotlinski, but pressure all the time can't be bad.
I don't think either of them's used their hyperdrive yet, so they're waiting where before hyperdrive was being used in that Continental Traction Challenge. Now I'm expecting it to be used for a passing opportunity. Hansen still behind, can't find a way past Michaela Arlen Kotlinski, but he's tried everything in his power so far. He's still right in behind. Is this going to be the moment? Takes an alternate line. Hansen goes off to the right-hand side, comes into gate 21 from wide. It's a great move by Timmy Hansen. The exit speed is there. Spotted a line on the way in and nails it on the way out. Look at the look on his face. Full concentration, full send.
Not
he
game
gets something
over.
inside.
Not game over yet, though. Arlen Kotlinski wants to come back at him, and there's still an opportunity. This is the onboard from car number 42. That's Molinaro. In front of her, a tremendous battle. The switch zone awaits. Arlen Kotlinski just trailing a little bit now as Hansen's released from being all over the back of the RXR. So it is the Genesis Andretti United that takes the lead going into the switch zone. What can Arlen Kotlinski do? Can she fight back a little bit more? She is pressurizing.
She's 1.05 seconds back now, looking to see how far back Molinaro is. Not far at all. Look, Tamara's just a few seconds back as well. Remember, she hasn't had anywhere nearly the seat time these drivers have. On the brakes as late as possible. 30 kilometres an hour in the switch zone. We had a couple of people with infringements in here yesterday. It could not be closer. Look, super tight in behind. Here comes Molinaro now. 8 seconds off the back. This is the move. Hansen slots out to the right-hand side. Those markers in the background are not waypoints. They're just a warning of the bump coming up the inside. I'm sure that's a move we saw Christopherson make yesterday as well. Tidily done and took the lead, but it is a lead of nothing.
Yeah, this is going to be very tight now. So just a reminder, they come into the switch zone. They'll have to switch over with their teammates. Then they'll have to wait 45 seconds. That's the total time that they must be in that switch zone for as a minimum. Once that 45 seconds is run down on the clock, They can go accelerate to 30 kilometers an hour until they get to the end plate board, where they can accelerate and go racing again. Just look at the side of that car. The Genesis ripped apart slightly. It's just bodywork damage, but you can see a lot of contact there. And it's no wonder I got a little bit confused with Kristoffersen and Arlen Kotelinski. She was driving like a world champion. It was absolutely incredible.
Michaela's absolutely on fire, isn't she? She really is on fire. She's pushing so hard.
The question
Great racing between them two. I want to see that. You know, I'm almost kind of hoping that that flag wasn't clipped, and I know some mud clipped it, but we don't know. We'll find out at the end. We've not got any investigations on at the minute.
That's lovely.
That's great, isn't it? Enjoyed the race.
As you say, no investigations have come up on race control board at the moment. Remember, it's Scheider, the championship driver, who's come into Excite Energy Racing this weekend, who will be trying to chase down these two cars. The Genesis Andretti United car, driven by, of course, Katie Munnings, and then RXR with Johan Kristoffersen.
So watch for Kristoffersen here. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see a hyperdrive or something early in terms of a move. He want to get past Katie as quickly as he possibly can, because the dust will hinder his vision. But Katie yesterday was the fastest female driver out there, and this is not an easy place to overtake. So Kristoffersen will need, he's got 4 World Rallycross titles. He knows how to overtake. He's won in Porsche Cup. I mean, here we go now. Kristoffersen looking for an alternate light on the run down to waypoint 3. At the minute, though, sitting in tight behind.
Yeah, this will be the moment if he wants to go in tight on waypoint 3 and maybe slingshot and go through on the inside. You can see him using the handbrake. Just pulls it in. They go level, side by side. Kristoffersen gets past Katie Munnings. There is nothing she can do. Can she hold on to second? That is the question. Or is Scheider going to manage to take her?
I think there's a problem for Katie there. Look how slow the car's going. It looked like she had nothing coming out the corner, Jenny. Kristoffersen used the handbrake, didn't he, and got the rotation on, but just seems to be driving away. So 3.9 in the background. Where's Excite Energy Racing? They were 8 seconds back. How close are they to Genesis Andretti United? It doesn't look that's not flat out, is it?
I just wonder if that bodywork's caught on the rear tyre, on the rear left,
it's not
potentially.
Enough.
I mean, those tyres are sturdy, as they've done a really good job at Continental, but now you can see Excite Energy Racing. Scheider coming up behind Katie Munnings. What's he going to do? Which way is he going to go? Munnings looks like she's got a little bit of an injured car there, but it's still got to be Scheider finding a way round. This is a skinny point. You can see that car limping a little bit. Unfortunately, Scheider looks to the right. Can't get through quite yet. Gives it a little bit more juice through waypoint marker 9. He is through. Meanwhile, at the front, Kristoffersen uses hyperdrive. Extra 5 seconds of boost power. So, and that'll be through the Continental Traction Challenge. He will be looking to set the fastest time. At the moment, his only 3rd fastest. Wants to take that away from Loeb.
Yeah, it's a 5 championship point bonus if they get that done. And of course, that's why as well he would have wanted to be in front of Katie in any occasion by that point to have clear track in front. On board with Munnings just there. Definitely a problem with that car. You saw she was doing so well. She held Kristoffersen all the way off down to waypoint 3, and then just from the exit there, the car just looked like it had no go.
Yeah, such a shame. But Kristoffersen setting the timing screens alight right now. He's having an absolute stormer. He was looking to beat a 34.102 to set the fastest time. Remember, it's a combination this week of the 2 drivers in that team setting the combined fastest time across the course of the event.
Remember, the first 2 cars will go through to the final. So at the minute, Genesis Andretti United are not going to make it to the final. RXR will. They're miles out in front. Look, though, the gap only 7 seconds. We ride on board with Kristoffersen down towards the tail end of the course. This is the left-hander where Hansen made the pass on the previous lap.
Yeah, I love this ruin section with the alternate lines that they can try. We saw a few people trying it out in qualifying just to see if they could get the slip, and they actually could. So watching out all the time. Scheider using his hyperdrive right now in that Excite Energy Racing car, and it looks like those will be the 2 that go through. They've just got to bring it home safely now for Kristoffersen. They lead the championship at the moment. They have 30 points, but will they extend that lead this weekend? It certainly looks like he's absolutely flying as he comes towards the finishing line. It is Kristoffersen for Rosberg X Racing, and he is having an absolute blinder. Takes that turn, goes through the squiggly wiggly bits towards the end. Arlen Kotelinski set it up for him. He managed the overtake on Andretti United, and from that point on, Q1. It's been plain sailing. He now has a large gap at the front, and he brings it home to be the first person through into the finals. And once again, Rosberg X Racing showing how dominant they are. Still waiting for Scheider or Munnings to come across next. There we see the Excite Energy Racing team. They are coming through to take the finish. They will be the second team through into the finals. Great job for this brand new pairing. It is good for Scheider, it's good for Molinaro. They are through, but you see the finger waggle.
Pleased. Scheider's pleased with that. It's a great performance, but I'm gutted for, particularly for Katie Munnings, who was the fastest female driver yesterday. Yeah, she was up against it with Kristoffersen behind her, but certainly they were looking to make it through to the final. You're on board with Katie now. Definitely a problem with that car. Waypoint 3, it just went on a go slow. And you can see the disappointment in the body language. She's done her best, she's dragged it home, but no cigar this time.
Oh, so disappointing. You can see she's shattered, isn't she, from the sheer highs and lows of this sport. So she comes in almost a minute down, and we know that's not the standard of this Andretti United team. She shakes her head. This is going to be a tough one. Sometimes I don't envy Laura Winter's job, and this is one of those moments. She's going to have to go and ask what went wrong and find out.
Something loose on the wheel. I don't suppose it's particularly important, but there's something, do you see on the wheel whether or not, have they had an issue with the dash there? The centre of the wheel is loose. Can you see it?
Yeah, just dangling around.
Yeah, but if that, if that's cord, there could be a button on there. If it's maybe where the pit limiter is, we're guessing, obviously, but there you can see on Kristoffersen, it might just be a crash pad in the centre of the wheel. It's hard to tell. Oh, gutted. Good job by these guys. Really good.
Really good job. Arlen Kotlinski doing brilliantly to set it up. Kristoffersen bringing it home. So Michaela did a cracking job. Let's go to her from the Vodafone Business Command Centre. Well done. That was an epic drive. You must be delighted.
Thank you. Yeah, of course I'm happy. I mean, it was all in the start, and I was really happy to take the start. And then I knew that Timmy was going to be quick, so I just tried to, place the car at all the points where he wouldn't be able to overtake me, and I almost made it. But then I knew he was going to be strong in 21. But in the end, we knew we had to be P1 or P2 to get to the finals. Now we have a P1. Pace feels good, so we're happy.
Pretty aggressive out there, wasn't it?
It was a bit aggressive, but I mean, in the end, that's what racing is about. Time trial is about going as fast as possible, but here you just have to be first through the finish. But it was fun. It was fun to drive against Timmy.
Michaela, you've got plenty of racing experience. I'm guessing that came in handy there. Timmy tried 3 times to get past. Could you see him in your mirrors? I mean, there's a lot of dust out there as well. Or were you just feeling the contact?
No, I just felt the contact. I did see him on the side, so I didn't even see him in the rear mirror, but I felt that he was there, and then I saw him a couple of times, and then, I already knew okay, I have to be tight in this corner, then he can't overtake me, I have to be tight there. So, I thought it through before going out in the semi-final, and yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Well, the final coming up later on today. You're the first car through. How confident are you that you could extend your lead at the top of the championship?
I mean, of course, that's our goal, but I mean, now grid play is what's giving us the vote, so we get to see what the starting position is, and as you could see, it's really crucial to get a good start here, so we'll see what the position is, and I mean, there are so many top drivers and top teams up there in the final so it will be tough, that's for sure.
Michaela, brilliant drive. Thank you so much. Go and get a cold towel or something. It looks a little warm.
I need that. I'm very sweaty. Thank you.
She's glowing.
She's pulling the look off. It's all good, The sweaty look is the new look. So this was Katie Munnings down at waypoint number 3. Look, she's on the brakes on the inside. Kristoffersen looks to the outside. He goes on the handbrake, gets to the inside. And we're like, OK, mega. And then, no, Katie, it's now when you realise, you see suddenly the gap just starts to get bigger and bigger. So yeah. It's a real shame for Katie. On board with her. This was as she was going through the water splash. So she now knows. Gutted. Unlucky.
Yeah, real bad times for Katie Munnings.
Well, Katie, just surveying the damage done to the car, I mean, we're gutted for you because it looked to be a brilliant race. And then coming out of waypoint 3, it all went wrong. Talk us through what happened from your perspective in the car.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest with you. Everything was okay, and then just literally at the flag, it's so rough in the car, you can't really feel where something happens, but I just lost power completely. I was pretty much flat the whole way around all of the corners on the track, and I just had nothing. I don't know, I think there's something in the drive shafts maybe, or powertrain. Yeah, it's strange, I haven't had it before, but gutting for us, to be honest. You know, we had an unlucky semi-final in Saudi. We know we have pace as a team, and that's the most frustrating thing because we only get 5 races in a year to prove it. We've been really quick this weekend as well, and it's a real shame for our weekend to end like this.
Well, you can see it all over your face, Katie. We're so sorry. Best of luck. We've got another chance in round 3. Thank you.
I'm glad about that.
Well, not long to wait as well till round 3 because that's coming for you this weekend. But just look, the signs of that contact with the Rosberg X Racing car, it was great to watch, really aggressive. Just trying to earwig on them.
It was brilliant racing. They'll be digging into the parts store on the Santa Elena because it's going to need a fair bit of work. Luckily, they've got all of tomorrow. There's no shakedown tomorrow, so they'll just be going straight into racing on Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, Genesis Andretti United are out from semi-final 1. Molinaro and Schade for RXR Energy Racing go through with RXR, Kristoffersson and Arlen Kotelinski.
So the St. Helena, resplendent there in the sunshine. And I just can't get over the disappointment that Andretti team will feel, and the contrast, isn't it, for these two, Rosberg X Racing and Excite Energy Racing. And you can see the start pretty level for both of those cars, and a real push from both of them as well. It was great watching Hansen take on Arlen Kotelinski, and I think they demonstrated how to race fair but hard.
Oof, that was hard through the right-hander in the background. Look at all the parts coming off the back of the cars. Timmy couldn't quite find something flat enough. Look at the merge there. In the merge, we were on board looking back, it was so tight, they actually ended up dropping down to P3 at that point. But that alternate line from the right-hand side definitely works, Jenny. I would say that what Kristoffersson was saying earlier is right, that the fastest line is on the left, because everybody who's taken it so far has got the whole shot. But the people that have taken that alternate line have nearly always ended up P2 off the start. So don't rule that out in the next semi-final, the crazy race, and of course the final 2. So disappointing for Andretti United. But they won't go any further. RXR wins semi-final number 1, and Excite Energy Racing go through with them.
Well, this is the place we are at the moment in Sardinia. We're highlighting the fact of wildfires, and Extreme E's dedication to helping combat the climate crisis goes beyond the course and continues well beyond when the race is finished. And in each of our race locations, the championship run a series of legacy projects which aim to provide positive long-term support relating to specific local needs.
The Extreme E team was in San Ariello to focus on how wildfires have affected the region and the technology available in the fight against this devastating climate force.
This year is again one very hot year, so we are now in conditions in which new fires could happen. What we really need is a more proactive approach in which information, knowledge, give us the opportunity to accelerate our capacity to react to stop the fires.
A quick reaction is vital to contain the spread of wildfires. One of Extreme E's partners, Vodafone Business, have developed a sensor that can detect fires and use the mobile network to alert authorities at an early stage. Championship reserve driver Fraser McConnell joined the installation of the very first device in the area.
The way that they work is they have a small chip that sits within them, and they detect forest fires in their early phase of forest fires. It detects the gases in the smouldering phase of those fires, which means it can detect them within an hour of a fire starting, so super early detection of the fires. You can place them anywhere in the forest, it doesn't matter, as long as there's natural daylight, that means that they will work. This technology is really important to fight climate change. One of the biggest things happening in climate change at the moment is forest fires across the world, and ultimately the solution which we're deploying will prevent forest fires from happening in the future.
There we go. The first ultra early wildfire sensor.
Extreme E's Legacy Day also saw Fraser help begin the replanting of olive trees in the region.
This is a site that really suffered from a wildfire almost about a year ago today, and you know they still suffer from it. As we can see, you look around and everything is burnt, so it's not a problem that disappeared and something we have to tackle. It's a good feeling to give back and put life back into the earth.
Today we had this symbolic plantation of 10 olive trees as a symbol of restart of life, and we really hope that those 10 trees become thousands and more in the next future.
So this is a look back at some of the action from that first semi-final on board. Right-hand side is RXR, which is Michaela Kotlinski, and then that was, look at that, that's my favourite shot, is where just suddenly Molinaro appears in the Extra Energy Racing machine at parking distance behind the RXR. Now she then loses out, because look over on the left-hand side of your screen, on the right side of your screen, that's Timmy Hansen taking the alternate line that we saw yesterday was taken by a couple of people, and then he has a look up the inside of at waypoint 3. He nearly pulled that off. But I tell you what, Arlen Kotlinski, she was fierce. You can see he's just there, look. He's still there.
Absolutely brilliant watching these two go head-to-head. And I think Arlen Kotlinski showed her mettle there. She absolutely was... It felt like she was very calm, and she just made that car super wide. Couldn't let Timmy through, would not let Timmy through. And Timmy was just pushing all the time, trying to find a way through.
It was a great performance from both of them. They raced hard, but they raced fair. There's nothing there that I've seen that I don't like. Well, I love good racing.
I was going to say.
Nothing there that I don't love. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Timmy, you know, by the way, on the left-hand side of the screen, the white lights you can see on the top, those are dust lights. So there was a note went out to the teams yesterday to remind them to have those lights on, because it really helps you see the car when the dust is there.
Now, they're just going to come through to the end of the Continental Traction Challenge. This is a bit where I thought one of them clipped the flag. Clearly they didn't, because there's been no investigation. Look at the visibility. It's so tough for that car to try and find a way through as Hansen once again tries. So this is the point where I think one of them potentially touched it, but
I think the flag's moving, but also there's so much mud moving.
Yeah.
Like if it's 25 litres of mud have hit the flag, that's probably going to do the same thing, isn't it?
Sounds like a wonderful facial, but anyway, yeah, you can just see that bodywork on the RXR car just shuffling about at the back. So the collisions that they had clearly loosening that. And I just wonder if once again we've seen Timmy, and you call me out on this, I'm wrong. Has Timmy been too aggressive on that car and risked it too much?
No, I think it's something internal, unfortunately. You know, Katie said it just suddenly lost power. Like if it was something mechanical from contact, like if it was a drive shaft or something, or geometry, but it's just bodywork, you know, and we want to see them go for it, don't we?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That bit there is like a bucking bronco. Both of the cars going straight over the top and then setting right back on their haunches and then managing to find some space. So this is the point where you'll see that Timmy takes the alternate line through the ruins. It'll be just in a minute, and he'll suddenly go, hang on a minute, I've got this, I can work out something. So you can see it's all over the back, but can't do it. So needs to try something else, because he's not just going to get past Arlen Kotlinski in a normal side-by-side contest.
It's like he's waiting for it. Well, he is waiting for it. And there we go. Off he goes to his right-hand side. He comes flying back in across to the left. Look for the waypoint gate, and that is the point that Hansen took the lead. But, of course, RXR got it back on the very next lap.
Semi-final 2 fast approaching, and it's been quite the journey so far here at the Island X Prix. 4x44. Normally top qualifiers, they've never not been in that spot. Not here though, they were third overall after a puncture and extensive bodywork damage. The list of things that needs to be fixed on this car from Q1 to Q2 was extensive, and you can see here the wreckage I've just been surveying. We're going to head out front now and speak to Sebastian Loeb, of course the man who caused that damage and caused that puncture. And I've got Seb here standing out front. Sebastian, we've just been looking at the damage to the car. That's now history, isn't it? You are through to the semi-final, third after qualifying. It was quite damage limitation. It was quite the recovery from you guys, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was not an easy quali for us. Finally, we are in the semi-final. That was the goal. We need to be first or second of the semi to go to the final. That's the objective for today. Yeah, we struggled a bit in the quali with a puncture, then with a half spin from Christina. I had to recover that in the race, but finally we had a good speed, and that's the main thing to keep in mind. We'll try to have a good start in the afternoon and do a good run.
All to play for. Top 2, the final up for grabs. Thanks very much. Best of luck to you. We're going to head now to the next 10 along. JBXC, of course, and Acciona Science are the 2 other cars in this final. And I've got Kevin Hansen here for once, not with a towel on his head. Kevin has been walking around with a soaking wet, freezing cold towel on his head. Quite the heat-reducing tactic from you. How are you feeling ahead of this semi-final? You've got X44 alongside you and Acciona Science, who are looking mighty quick here, aren't they?
Well, they have done a great season opening at Science Team, and I'm really looking forward to race this semi-final. I had such a blast being back in the car yesterday, racing all the other cars. Had a really good run, very good feeling behind the wheel. So taking the start in this semi-final is gonna be key. 2 very good drivers next to me, both Laia and Seb. Seb I've had in my team back in the day, so it's going to be a very tight fight, and I think we're looking to have a very dusty track today. So I think the launch is going to be key, and also Hedda leaving over to her first semi-final. I think it's great that we made it to that place, and let's try to go for the main one.
And just talk to me about your back as well. I know yesterday you said to me after Q1 it was feeling good. Is that very much the same here as well, that after a day of driving on, I think, what is an incredibly hard track here as well, a really tough course, is it feeling good?
Yeah, it's feeling good. I mean, the track is very hard. There's a lot of hard bumps. The surface is very stiff, but it's holding up well. I've done so much work with Red Bull on this point to really make sure my back is strong again and the core can hold up. I'm feeling great out there, I must say, and the team has done a good job also on the seating position to get it better. And step by step, you know, it's good to be back. It's been a long 4 months of hard work, and to have a payoff with a semi-final. Hopefully we can get it dialed in with the car setup, with the driving, me and Hedda together, and we'll be out in the final.
Yeah, an exciting new pairing with you two. We'll have to wait and see. X44 and Acciona Science alongside you. It is almost time now for semi-final 2.
So it's all set up for you. Laura Winter telling you exactly what to expect. And look, these are the cars taking to the grid in a short moment. X44, Acciona Science, JBXE.
St Helena in the distance. I love the fact we can see it at this event.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, it's local, isn't it?
It's very much local. Look at it, it's just there. Within throwing distance, if you've got a good throw?
Well...
Have you got a good throw?
No, I'm terrible, actually. You'd have to have a very good throw to get that one, Jenny. A very good throw.
You've never seen me throw, have you?
No, I haven't. I'll look forward to that. It sounds like comedy. That was a quick look there at the various different lanes off the start line. We've seen that alternate line work. Can it work this time? Find out soon enough.
Attention all teams, this is race control. Stand by for the start of the Island X Prix. Semi-final 2 is about to commence. Energize your systems and prepare to race.
1 minute. 1 minute.
1 minute to go then. The Vodafone Business Command Centre. You can see Carlos Sainz standing by, helmet on already. In fact, all 3 with their helmets on already. Laia Sanz in the car. Carlos Sainz there supporting her. Seb Loeb in the car as well with Gutierrez in the command centre. And Hedda Hossas will take over from Kevin Hansen. That's your 3 lining up.
Kevin needs to come back. If they want to go through, Kevin needs to come back and give Hedda a chance, because she's going up against 2 of the fastest teams in this series, and she's the driver with the least experience. So Kevin really needs to come back with a healthy lead and give Hedda a chance to keep the door shut.
Let's see what's going to happen then. This is semi-final 2.
15 seconds.
Scott's made me say that now. He hasn't asked me to do it. I just ended up doing it. Semi-final 2. That's what we'll go with. X44 takes on Acciona Science, takes on JBXE. Lights on. Waiting for the green. And we are green. Let's go racing in Sardinia for semi 2. It's a really good start from Acciona Science. They go alongside X44 to the right. JBXE have gone wide. They take the alternate line, but just look at the fighting. It is going to be Hansen who goes out. Sainz, Loeb, we're on board now. You can see Acciona Science have got the lead there. They are easing away from X44. They're both on the left-hand side. They rejoin. In they go. Kevin Hansen's done a great job to slot himself into the middle of that. This is going to be a real battle. Well done for JBXE. Down to turn 3. You can see the extra long side as well, with X44 going wide. They're hoping to take extra speed in. It's a rough ride down there, though, so who makes it into turn point 3 first. All three are almost together.
Kevin Hansen kept the door shut on Loeb there. He knew what was happening. Goes up the inside now. Laya Sands. Laya Sands bullied Loeb offline off the start line. She's now getting bullied out of the way by Kevin Hansen. Great pass by him, but even better awareness to know that Loeb was out wide coming in. That alternate line, Jenny, when we were on board with Kevin Hansen, you could see the commitment in his eyes. He took every single 100th that he could to slot into P2. Now he's out front. He's got to get a big gap if he can and give Hedda Hozas a chance on lap 2. But these two behind aren't going to let him get away.
It's going to say Loeb is all over the back of Laya Sands at the moment, wants to find a way round as well, knows he needs to try and close that gap to Hansen and not let it grow out front. But this is a great battle between three fantastic drivers, three experienced teams in this, and JBXE just taking a little bit of a lead now. It seems to have settled just a bit, but not for long. Loeb will be on the hunt. Look, really nicely spread out, very even.
Yeah, I'm surprised Loeb's not a bit nearer. He's closing the gap down now as you see Kevin Hansen to come down to the start of the Continental Traction Challenge. If he's out front here, he might use his hyperdrive, try and go for the time. And Loeb up the inside on the brakes into the mud hole. Laya Sands going around the outside now, going to repass him, is she? Side by side through this section. We were on board with the drone. Now you're on board with Kevin Hansen.
Yeah, Kevin Hansen's got that lead, but what's happening behind him? That's the question. There is Sands. She's in the car just in front. It is Loeb. He's managed to get through, but I tell you what, she wants to keep up the pressure. And remember, this is the section being timed for an extra 5 points, combined times through the weekend. But my word, they are going for it. Windscreen wipers on, really effective for that car in the Axonia sights, but they've got to make up time, and it seems like Loeb just trying to claw down that lead now set by Kevin Hansen.
When you're on board with Sands, you can see the visibility's tricky, but also in that narrow section, Jenny, your margins are so small. Look at the dust now. So she's lost a lot of time to Loeb, where she was actually bang on his pace. Off the start, you wait till you see the replays. Laya Sands was so aggressive with Loeb, in a good way. So you're not coming through. 9 world titles, I don't care. I've got more world titles in my trials bike, so you're not coming through, mate. And it was just great. Also off the start, you could see that JBXE machine was pointed about 20-30 degrees the opposite way to these guys. So it played out kind of the way we thought it would. Look how hard Kevin Hansen is pushing.
He's really pushing hard. As you said, he's got to try and build up as much lead as possible, so when they get into the switch zone, he can give our newest driver, Hedda Hozas, as much of a lead as possible, so that these two don't track her down and take away that spot in the final.
Brilliant upgrades to these cars. We know they've made some strength upgrades to steering and suspension. We've got the Fox dampers on there, and in conjunction with the Continental tyres, the drivers are just able to push much harder than they were right up until round 1 of this year. And I think look at the way the car's moving around. Look at the inside. The driver's not holding back to the limit of the car. They're pushing to the limit of the car, and it's just great. It's making for great racing. Brilliant job of the series organisers to get these cars up spec'd a bit.
Yeah, remember, crazy race still to come. 1 place on offer, 4 cars. But this is semi-final 2, and they're coming into the switch zone now. Look how much speed Loeb's got coming in there. Can he even get it slow to 30 kilometres an hour? I think he did, but that was tight.
I think he might have gone through the markers, Jenny. You're dead right. He was fully crossed up. Laya Sands is coming in fully crossed up too. Now, from Loeb's point, we'll have a look at our timing screen and see if an investigation comes up, because there will be a speed gun on that point. But okay, so there is Hedda Hozas. Full focus mode on. Looks a bit nervous. I'd be nervous too. Get in there, Hedda. Get in there and get it done. Like Kevin's coming. He's the top 2 are going through. So she's got it. Forget Loeb's car, the X44 machine. Gutierrez is going to get in that 6 seconds behind her. Focus on trying to keep Carlos Sainz behind. He's 17 back. El Matador will gun it big time. We might even see a penalty for X44 if Loeb crossed the line too quickly.
Just trying to listen in a little bit on what they're saying, but I don't think we're going to be able to understand it either way.
It's close enough. I've heard they can talk to each other somehow. I've seen their magic in many a paddock.
So Carlos Sainz climbing into his car. Yes, he says. Did a good job there. Excuse a little bit of language if it leaked out, but Kevin Hansen gave that everything. Bearing in mind he's coming back from that injury.
It was
such a good job.
It was his face, Jenny, when he was on his own. Look at Hedda Hozas. Look at the concentration. Go on, Hedda. Hedda. I want to see a great performance here. She's so young. This is a great opportunity for her, and I want to see her nail it. Go on, Hedda, you got this. Let's go.
Yeah, she's come through. Background in motocross at the age of 15. She started there.
That's a slow release from Loeb. They were 6 seconds back, Jenny, and I reckon they've been sitting there for longer than that. We did see yesterday, and in fact, so Sainz came in. They came in a full 11 seconds behind X44, and they're leaving in front of them. So some sort of an issue in the switch zone for X44, Sebastian Loeb and Cristina Gutierrez. That's given Hedda Hozas potentially a 17-second cushion over both of them.
Yeah, that's exactly what she'll want to hear, but I don't know how much information she'll be getting once she's out there. Just about to get into the restart zone, and you can see a 20-second lead now, 20 seconds in front. So JBXC, Hedda Hozas, she needs to keep her cool out there and just try as much as she can to hold on. Look, the cars, they are hunting down. I wonder if that X44 car's got some sort of an issue there.
I thought the same from Loeb earlier. I was expecting Loeb to challenge Sands earlier on in the lap. Now, he did get her in the end, but it didn't look like full send Sebastian Loeb to me, so maybe it's something. But all about Hedda Hozas. She's already lost 1.4 to Carlos Sainz, but that doesn't matter. She's 18 seconds up the road. She's got to keep this clean and tidy and just get a push on where she can. Try and make up as, keep that gap up as high as she can.
Yeah, a lot of the drivers yesterday saying they could have been more aggressive, and I think Hozas was one of those. She realises what she needs to do, but you can just see how quickly Carlos Sainz is now gaining pace on her. 16, almost 17 seconds the difference. That is going to come down, but Hozas just needs to keep ahead of everybody else. Dust-free at the minute, so she's got an easier journey of it.
You know what, looking at it, Gutierrez came out very close behind. She's 22, 21 seconds back. Gutierrez is suffering from the dust of Sainz, whereas out front, Hozas is not. So as long as she keeps it tidy and three-quarter pace, if you like, not ultra commitment, the dust is, look, you see Gutierrez is not making headway into that 22-second gap. So even if Hozas loses out for Sainz, that doesn't matter. She's just got to get top two, and she can stop that car through into the final. Imagine that for her.
Look at that car. It's the Acciona Sainz of Carlos Sainz. He goes through the big water splash at waypoint 10. This is into the Continental Traction Challenge. He'll feel perky as well. He'll want to close down that gap, but at the moment, maybe he's got one eye on the 5 points as well and wants to set a really decent time through there. Nobody really improving hugely. The car just rocking out a little bit at its rear end. But this windy section, you've got to try and make up as much time as possible before the final area, the next water jump, which marks the closing bit of that Continental Traction Challenge.
Yeah, it's one of my favourite ones, actually, in terms of commitment. You have to really light it up if you want to take the time. You've got to take some risks to get it, and I love that, the risk-reward thing. How badly do you want those 5 championship points? Left-hand side of your screen, Hedda Hozas trying to hold on and make it through to the final on her proper debut in Extreme E. Here she is for JBXE. What's the gap back to Sainz? It's 9.4, so Sainz has halved it, but she's around halfway around the course, maybe a little bit further.
Woo! Gutierrez getting all out of shape when she comes through the end of that water splash zone, really struggling. Right, Hozas uses her hyperdrive. This is defensive, and just to try and get a bit more speed going into the section where she can slingshot it. She knows she's within touching distance of this. Waypoint 21, round, wraps to the left. She'll come through, down to the right as well.
Hedda Hozas, how far back is Carlos Sainz? 9.6 was the gap at the last one, it's 9.1. I don't think Sainz is going to get there. I think she's going to be able to hold on. You're looking from Sainz now at the big dust roost trail out in front as Gutierrez uses the hyperdrive. X44 might not make the final here. They're in P3, that would be advantage RXR, but out front it's advantage JBXE. Kevin Hansen, with a brilliant job on lap 1, did exactly what he needs to do, and Hedda Hozas has raised her game massively here. Carlos Sainz, World Rally Champion, has not been able to close the gap down, so she comes through the last couple of corners now. He's not going to get there. The grin is starting to come up on the Norwegian's face. Hedda Hozas is going to come down and take victory in semi-final number 2 for JBXE, for her and Kevin Hansen. That is an absolutely fantastic result. Acciona Sainz, Carlos Sainz couldn't catch her. They come through for P2, but the big story, Jenny, X44 are not going to make the final. Look at the look on her face. Done it, you've done it.
What a great pairing, though.
Brilliant.
An absolutely brilliant pairing for them. You can just see there, Gutierrez still struggling in that X44 car, not finished yet.
I think there might have been a spin, Jenny. I'm suspecting an issue because we know how good they are, but that's taking nothing away from the cars in front. But there we are, over the line, X44 not in the final. Let's have a look and see what happened to Gutierrez. Disappointment. on board with Gutierrez. Over the bumps and round the wrong way, yeah, loses a ton of time there. Look, got to spin it all the way back round, Jenny, in one of those narrow sections. That's in the end, I think, of the Continental Traction Challenge. That narrow bit we were talking about.
Maybe it just looked like it was a real handful to try and drive and control. So let's find out. I'm sure Laura Winter is scurrying around as we speak, and you can see teammates there looking on. Leia Sands in the Vodafone Business Command Centre watching on, probably looking at the data as well. They are through. That is the most important thing. Through to the final alongside JBXE.
Carlos doesn't look super excited, does he? But they will be. They're P2 in the championship. They made the final. Let's have a catch up with Sebastian Loeb.
Seb, you must be so disappointed not making the final. It was a very slow switch. Just talk us through what happened.
Yes, the race was quite okay. Laia had a good start, so I managed to pass her later, but then I tried to push to maintain the gap, and at that switch zone, yeah, we have they put us a new safety net sheet system that doesn't work, and so we couldn't fix it, so we cannot restart without fixing it, and so we lost a lot of time for that.
And have you learned from that today to take into, of course, round 3 coming up in just a matter of days?
Sorry?
What can you learn from that today in terms of that system to take into the next round?
That we should find another solution because the system doesn't work. This time the car didn't broke, and finally it's a sheet system that doesn't work. So it's a bit a shame not to get in the final for a stupid thing like that, but it's how it is.
Okay, better luck next time. Thank you.
Yeah, I think he's made his thoughts clear. I'm not sure, Jenny.
Yes, apologies for the language. Clearly a little frustration seeping through for Sebastian Loeb, Cristina Gutierrez in the car. But this young lady, just 21 years of age, coming in for her first full event. Hedda Hossas has done a great job.
Look at the smile, it's great, isn't it? It's a mixture of relief and also being proud of your results. Great job. So Loeb and Gutierrez for X44, they were third in the championship standings coming here, and they've not made the final. Sainz and Sands were P2 in the championship. They are going through to face off with championship leaders RXR, but I think the biggest result there, Hansen and Hossas through to the final.
Great job by them. JBXE just 2 points in the championship standings so far, so they will move up in the standings by the end of the day. Remember, we've got the final coming up and we've still got 1 place for it. Crazy race is still on its way, still to come. And car 55 under investigation at the moment.
Kevin, when you got out the car at the switch, I won't repeat what you said, but you were very happy, put it that way. And then when I walked past the command centre at the end of the race to head back here, I could hear you from about 100 metres away screaming with joy. Just sum it up for us right now. A final for you guys, this new driver pairing, and Hedda having the drive of her life.
I mean, she did an amazing job. It's her first professional driver race weekend. She was up against the best, and she kept the gap and went to the finish. It was an incredible drive by her, and I had a great first lap as well. I must say it means so much to me to be back on course after what I've been going through. So it's just a pleasure to be in the final.
You're emotional, aren't you?
Yeah, I actually got that now. So it's been very tough. And being back like this, it means the world.
Thank you very much, Kevin. Well done.
Oh. That's a guy who's come. Yeah, the thing is, you know, you come back. It's not a broken back, but it's close, and you start to freak out about what might have happened. He's put in all that effort. I love this. They were facing off to the right-hand side, Jenny. You saw it there. Took that line, comes out right behind, and then just pressure, trying to find the way through. Here it was alongside. I think Loeb held off Loeb behind him. Great.
Attack and defence all at the same time.
Yeah.
It's not an easy thing to be able to do. And I tell you what, Kevin did a brilliant job of it through the water jump. The car for Loeb was all over the shot, wasn't it? And they were trying as hard as they could with Sainz to really battle it. This is the release then from the switch with Acciona. Sainz managing to gain a huge amount of time, and for Gutierrez it wasn't to be. That 44 car spinning around, just proving too much of a handful. The system not up to scratch, says Sebastian Loeb, but they are out. That is the reality, and Sainz goes through alongside JBXE. Well done to Hedda Hossas. Brilliant job. This the paddock.
These are some of our eco icons, yeah. So these are some of the efforts that Extreme's making to make sure that we have a good environmental impact despite going racing.
Yeah, you can see the one with a little tyre hovering around. Season 2, our Continental tyres have been redesigned. They now include materials like husks, rice husks, and 60 PET bottles in each tyre.
Yeah,
well done to Continental, it's quite the development.
Another one out there as well, the water drops you can see, which are on the far left-hand side. That's the NEOM hydrogen fuel system, which creates its own carbon-free energy on site, used to charge the race car batteries and support the power units at every event. Brilliant stuff. Loads of efforts going into it.
Great driver lineups this season. Season 2, remember, being led at the moment by Rosberg X Racing. They have 30 points, but they are, I think they're comfortable at the moment, aren't they? They've got through to the final. They were top qualifiers. Let's find out a little bit more about this fabulous team.
RXR were in Germany at the famous Nürburgring for their testing, and they were joined by a familiar face. Nico Rosberg, team owner of RXR and 2016 F1 World Champion, was on site to get up close and personal with the RXR machine.
So just quick explanation of the car then. First of all, I mean the suspension, crazy, what a beast. I mean if I compare it to my F1 suspension, you know, which was like, this is unbelievable.
While Nico was at the track, he couldn't help but get behind the wheel himself.
First time in an XC car, but it's my first time actually even in a rally car as such. So really excited, looking forward to it. Okay, let's do it.
Show me what the car can do.
Crazy! It's a tech! Oh, unbelievable! What a beast! Oh my goodness! James! Actually made the corner. Actually made the corner. How crazy cool, how cool is that?
It is, right?
That's insane. That's really cool. I'm really impressed. What a tank. I've never driven something like that before. You just do not care. You know, it's like whatever comes, let's go. It's insane. Wow, it was like insane. I was bombing it. And I've never driven an off-road tank like that before. Literally, whatever comes, it's just keep it flat, it will take anything. Was madness out there. It was proper cool. And I think you can see that it was flat out by the look of the car. I mean, I pushed like hell. and I must say also, I mean, the Continental tires work beautifully. Huh? I mean, the grip is impressive, so that was really cool to see as well.
Before leaving the Nürburgring, Nico jumped into the passenger seat for a lap with Johan Kristoffersson to feel the pace of this championship-winning driver.
Well, we've got one race left to go to decide the final team going through to the final. It's the crazy race. One of the 4 teams that's in it is this one. McLaren XE is their social media handle. If you want to get in touch with them, it's Emma Gilmore, of course, and Tanner Faust. Been tricky for them.
Yeah, not straightforward a weekend, unfortunately. Suspension issues in the first heat, but tell you what, they'll look to get it back on track. It's going to be hard fought, but the crazy race is going to be epic to see which one of them can actually get through. The options are there: Abt, McLaren, Veloce and Chip Ganassi Racing. Let's find out a little bit more.
If teams haven't made it to the semi-finals here in Extreme E, there's one more chance to make the final, and that is the crazy race. We can't wait. One team to make the final. The Vodafone Business Command Centre is just behind me here, and this is very much where it all happens, the hub of the action. We'll take a look inside now and find some of the drivers who are going to be racing in that crazy race. And here we are. It's a very dramatic place, this, and I'm joined by Jutta Kleinschmidt and Sarah Price, of course. I mean, listen to this, the music, the lights, you know, when a red flag, it flashes up, the Yanoa Hyperdrive. It's just ridiculous, but brilliant. It's its own theatre, its own show, isn't it, Sarah?
Yeah, definitely. You know, when I tell people about the races at home and they watch it, they're like, do you see that center they go into? It's kind of like a spaceship feel. It adds something that you don't get in other forms of racing, so.
No, it's very, very cool. Does it make you more nervous, though?
Oh, yeah, because we are watching at the screen, we see the times, we see the starting position, and it's very, very exciting for us, too, because we watch the race here half through, and then we go out for the driver change.
The music is so dramatic as well. I'm getting nervous just standing here. It's very hot in here as well. How much data is relayed through these screens?
Oh, everything actually. All the split times we can see, the position we can see, and we have also the video actually from the race and like the live feed, so it's great.
It's warm in here, very warm. We're going to head out. Come with me. We're going to head out now of the command center. And of course, you've got the crazy race coming up. You've got one chance to make the final, and you're up against each other. Bit of an awkward interview, this, isn't it, really? Sarah, keep walking down here. What bad luck you guys have had. It's now one chance, isn't it?
This is war. I have to say that. We are up against each other, yes, but, you know, we're friends off the track, but when we're on the track, it doesn't matter. And we only have one chance, you know? Like, more than anything, our team has had extremely bad luck, so now it's time to change that and make it happen, because that's all we're here for.
One chance, an all-out war. Jutta, you guys have also got one chance. How can you extract a bit more pace from the car, do you think?
Oh, we try the best. We analyze all the data from each lap, and then we try to find the best setup, the best tire pressure, and now, yeah, we have to be first in this race, otherwise we are out, you know?
Talk to me about the conditions as well, because we've got this wind, this dust blowing through, we've got the searing heat that we've had all week. I know you're from Southern California, so this is probably a nice spring day from you, but I think, Jutta, you and I were talking about just how hydrated you have to be and the amount of minerals and salts you're losing.
Yeah, definitely. A big thing is staying hydrated, getting in your electrolytes, you know, taking salt pills and whatever you possibly can to stay hydrated. The wind is a great thing. It cools down everyone, but it also helps the dust on the track, and so that's something that is going to be a big thing to take into consideration for the racers. But yeah, the track conditions are dry, hot, and yeah, it's making for some really exciting racing.
And Jutta, very quickly coming to you, it's all about the start, isn't it? Getting off that line first.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday. I took definitely the wrong line, because then I was immediately in the dust and had to slow down, and everybody passed me, put me in the last position. It was actually the same like Christina. I should learn from that, from the first qualifying. But anyway, today we have another chance, and that's it. Try it.
One more chance, all or nothing. Well, it's almost time for the crazy race. Thanks both, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, I've made my way down to the end of the paddock to find McLaren, who are also in the crazy race. Emma, a frustrating qualifying yesterday. Veloce speeding in that pit lane and overtaking you. What are your reflections now looking back?
Yeah, I was surprised at the time. I thought we had a reasonable change, and I was leaving, and then I was like, where's Lance off to? So, yeah, I mean, you've just got to focus forward. There's so much going on with these races, and anything can happen. So, yeah, frustrating to be in dust, but, you know, we've done crazy race win before.
You have indeed. All or nothing in the crazy race, one through to the final. Tanner, what's the mindset today?
Well, very similar to rallycross, this course, it all comes down to the start. There are a few passing opportunities off the line, but most people use the hyperdrive off the start to get out of the dust, frankly. So that's going to be it. Pin it to win it, and then, you know, push through for the crazy race to make a long day out of it.
Great stuff. Best of luck. Thanks very much. Right. I'll let you head back to the garage.
Thank you.
Crazy race coming up. 4 cars, only one goes through. I'm keen to see the angles on the start, Jenny. We saw in the last one the JBXE machine was pointed off to the right-hand side, and the 2 on the left were pointed to the left. When there's 4 in there, we get some clues. We did see 5 car starts yesterday, but yeah, nearly ready for the off.
Attention all teams, this is race control. Stand by for the start of the Island X Prix. The crazy race is about to commence. Energize your systems and prepare
1 minute.
to race.
1 minute.
1 minute to go then. The Vodafone Business Command Centre. A lovely blue colour. But who is going to be left celebrating after this? 4 cars taking to the grid. Boy, it's going to be frenetic. And that team, Hummer EV, need a little bit of luck, don't they?
A little bit. Okay, there's the angles. Look at where the McLaren's facing. So the 2 on the left-hand side of the grid from behind where the drivers are sitting are facing to the left. The McLaren is definitely facing off towards this way. I'd say the jury's out on which way the number 99 Hummer EV Chip Ganassi racing car's going, but we'll see.
It's going to go aggressive, that's for sure. So in the car, Price, Gilmore, Alatia and Woolridge. Those are your first drivers. Eyes to the lights. When they go green, racing is underway. 2 laps.
15 seconds.
1 with each driver. Gilmore pumping herself up. That number 58 car, so synonymous with McLaren. Eyes to the left, eyes to the right. And we're green. We are racing the NEOM McLaren, getting a decent start. And look at Alatia. He's getting away in the App Cooper, storming into the lead on the right-hand side, though. You can just see there is a battle going on there, and it looks like there's a crash. There's a crash down there.
McLaren have gone over Emma Gilmore. There was contact between her and between Sarah Price. Gilmore got sideways and McLaren have rolled for the 2nd time in 2 events.
Let's see where the rejoin is then. This is the moment that we can see as the number 5 car of Woolridge there, following in all that dust. It looks like it's Price who's managed to slot into 2nd place, and out front, Alatia for App Cooper XE managing to get a little bit of distance there. What a dramatic start, though, for that McLaren team. They did not want that contact.
We've got round 3 coming up, Jenny, in 1 day's time, and limited resources on site for them to get that car repaired. They won't make the final today. There's Emma Gilmore. It looks like she's back on her wheels. I think she's up the right way. It doesn't look too bad. If she can get it going, to be honest, there's not a lot of point in finishing the race. I'd park it and just give the team less work to do. It's offline, and she's okay. That's the most important thing.
She looked a little shaken, and totally understandable. Parked up, and I think that's the way that will end for them. There could be a yellow flag zone in the next lap. That's what they're doing this year. If they can get racing back, they put out a yellow flag. The system cuts to the switch zone speed, and they go past safely and then get going again. So we expect that to happen with that NEOM McLaren. A little bit stranded just at the start. They could take another line as well, because I think they're off the direct race line.
I was thinking that. So where they come out, but where they come out from the switch zone is over to the left, isn't it, of the start? So I think they won't have to go past Gilmore's position, but we'll see. If they do, they're just going to end up staying on the limiter for a bit longer, aren't they?
1 place. That is all there is. 3 cars battling for it. You can see a little bit of damage there on Woolridge's car where he had that contact. It is the number 99 GMC Hummer EV Chip Ganassi Racing Team hunting down the Apt Cooper XE team. Price versus Alatia.
She's got around Jenny, so Sarah Price is facing the wrong way. Lance Woolridge going to come through. She's going to block the track. Woolridge through the barriers on the inside. Woolridge, how did he make that work? He may have clipped the waypoint, but I don't think he had any choice. It was that or collect Sarah Price. She got 2 sideways on the bumps. The car went one way and then the other, and she ended up parked in the undergrowth. Woolridge did an amazing job to avoid her.
He absolutely did. He must have had the reactions there of a coil cobra, just managing to sprint out the way and get it. So Emma Gilmore just being checked up by the medical team. So yeah, Woolridge really reacting fast to that. Price a little bit difficult for her. Reversing into the racetrack is not something you would advise, but let's see what happens. Woolridge has gone wide.
He's gone the wrong way. Everybody's there handing this to Alatia. Woolridge went the wrong way. He was caught in the dust. I think Sarah was in the dust. When we see the replays, we'll get a better idea, Jenny. Look at Alatia. He's taken the wide line that we saw Hansemate work on the pass earlier on today. So that line is definitely the quick line for the exit through this section. But he's out in front in the clear. Veloce going to come back some 16 seconds back. And I think it's going to be quite a big ask. But I mean,
I don't know, because at the moment Sarah Price is hunting down Woolridge. She's only about 3 seconds behind, so the game is still on here, and she will want this. They have had real bad luck every round, you can say, pretty much. They have had bad luck, so she wants to make up for that. She wants to get some big points this weekend, and that means she will want to battle, but there's only 1 place, and at the moment that is going to Apt Cooper.
It's going to be Alatia is going to be handing over to Jutta Kleinschmidt, legendary winner of the Dakar Rally. Kleinschmidt's going to have some job, because she's going to have Christine GZ and Kyle Leduc chasing her down now. As you said, Jenny, if I were GMC Hummer, I'd be like, you know what, send it. We've had such a terrible weekend, we might as well try. I think Leduc will be spectacular in that chase, but at the minute, he's going to have to get past GZ before he can close the gap down, and it's still 20 seconds. Kleinschmidt's well capable of holding on to that.
If they were looking for the right driver for that job, I'd say Leduc is one of them for sure. So there is a slow zone between waypoint 1 and waypoint 2 where they have the yellow flag. Before anyone gets to that point, we're entering the switch zone. Good news, Emma Gilmore out of that NEOM McLaren, so excellent for her that the team have managed to recover her. Disappointment, of course, but safety, the most important thing.
Now, they need to get a good switch here. Alatia out, Kleinschmidt in. In goes the seat insert to get Yuta just a little way higher up. She pulls out there. I think maybe Alatia got out without pulling out his comms lead. On board with Emma Gilmore. So she's alongside Sarah Price here. She gets a tap into the undergrowth sideways. It's not the hardest roll. It's not the first impact was semi-hard. The second one, not so much. So hopefully no damage to the roll cage.
Problems in the switch zone potentially. Heard a lot of raised voices there, and we have seen issues in the switch this week with people not quite getting it right. We've seen early releases, late releases.
Oh, the Cooper machine moved and has then too late. If she's moved and then stopped and then gone again, she'll get the penalty. She might as well have just gone, Jenny. I think Kleinschmidt's gone early and been released. This is Price. Look, she's in the dust. No, to be fair, she probably could see. She's just got a little bit too sideways each way. Yeah, and here comes the Veloce. Watch for Woolridge. Look, he buries it in the bushes on the left-hand side. He doesn't hit the waypoint marker. It's the Continental sign. So Woolridge did a great job. He's lucky there was nothing in the bushes there because he had no choice. He just pointed it in there.
Really impressive. Good reactions. So now in the cars, you have Kleinschmidt. She is there for Apt Cooper. She will be alongside Christine GZ, who will be there for Veloce Racing. And then you will have the number 99 car of Leduc. And this will be a great duel when they can get racing. Remember, slow zone between waypoint 1 and 2. Can someone get the advantage out the end of waypoint 2, like we saw yesterday with Loeb coming alongside the Andretti United team?
If I were Leduc, I'd be tempted with a hyperdrive just to get past GZ immediately. We think there's potentially going to be a penalty for Kleinschmidt and Alatia for an early release from the switch zone. She did stop, but I'm afraid if she's moved inside that time limit, I'm pretty sure it'll stand. So they're going to come out through. They're having to wait. It's a long old section here. You can see, look at the McLaren logo, left-hand side, the papaya colour. That is where Emma Gilmore is parked up, and that's why there's this go slow zone. To be honest with you, I think we'd have got away without it because she was in the middle of the start area. But if
Safety
the medical
first.
crews are down there, yeah, they've made the call, and that's the way it is.
They don't need a whole load of sand.
Yeah, Apt her up at waypoint 3. Here we go.
Restart is on. And you can just see there, Veloce, a fairly decent lead over the GMC Hummer team, but that is going to be closed down by Leduc against GZ, against Kleinschmidt.
You're on board with Kyle Leduc now. He's on the alternate line. In front of you is Christine GZ, who's recovering from that broken foot, of course, broken ankle last time out in Saudi Arabia. She did a brilliant job to get that fixed up in time to be racing here. The gap up to the front, remember, is 18-odd seconds. We don't know if there's going to be a penalty or not. Still nothing on our timing screen. So this is on. Everybody will know there's a possibility, Jenny. You just got to go for it.
Absolutely. And you can see there the Veloce team with Christine GZ in the sights of the number 99 Chip Ganassi car. And look, Leduc's going for it. He's going on the outside. Can he find a way through past that Veloce car with a little bit of bodywork dangling off to the side? They've had some contact, but Leduc desperate to try and find a way down and past as soon as possible so they can try and hunt down the Apt Cooper team.
Yeah, he needs every inch of this track to try and chase down that big lead out front. Every second he's sitting behind is going to be a bit of a problem. Gets alongside GZ this time. He's going to have to take the alternate line to the right. Go hyperdrive surely and get past there, but he doesn't this time. Maybe saving that for later in the lap. So he slots in behind again. This is that bumpy, dusty, narrow section. There's no margin for error in here. He takes a wider entry line in. Avoids the bumps, still he looks for a way through, looks up the inside through the water splash. This time he's alongside. I think he's going to get it done. Kyle Leduc gets up past alongside Christine GZ. Can she hold on along the right-hand side? No, Leduc is through.
Good job from Carl Leduc. Dispatched the Veloce team of Christine GZ. Woolridge setting them up decently, but not quite enough. And now he needs to close that gap. 17 seconds. Let's keep an eye on the clock and let's see, can he pull back towards Kleinschmidt? Will Kleinschmidt get that penalty? 125 car is under investigation for a drop flag at waypoint 6, but not switch zone.
But if it's a drop flag, Jenny, that's 10 seconds. The gap's only 15.5. So Leduc now, if he can close that gap down a little bit, he's wild and sideways himself. If Leduc gets within 10 seconds and that investigation is correct, if the flag was dropped at waypoint 6, they would win the crazy race and go through.
Oh, there is a lot at stake here. One place, remember, one car goes through to the final. Lots of points on offer. And App Cooper now using that hyperdrive to try and give themselves a boost. Leduc still has that hyperdrive up his sleeve. He can use it at any time. Coming into dust now, and I wonder if that's a dust because he's closing down on App Cooper. Now he uses it. So Leduc deploys that hyperdrive, an extra 5 seconds of boost.
Another investigation, 125 under investigation for the minimum switch time. I think App Cooper have finished here. Kyle Leduc won't know that yet. He needs to get within 10 seconds in case either of those investigations doesn't come off. I think the drop flag is the most likely one. He's 13.6, 14.1 back now. Just a few flags to go.
Kleinschmidt doing a really good job out there to try and hold off Leduc, and she is showing her pedigree around that sandy track. Remember, she is an absolute star of Dakar, but Leduc is coming for you, Jutta.
Jutta Kleinschmidt, couple of corners to go. She's managed to maintain that gap. It's 11.13. She needs 10, and then she needs to pray that they didn't release the car early. You're on board with her now. Dakar legend, winning the Dakar overall, coming down towards the finish. She takes the win, but will it be enough? Is the GMC Hummer going to get there in under 10 seconds? Because if he does, I think it will go Leduc's way anyway. Coming down to the finish line now. He crosses the line. It's under 10. I think that will see Leduc and Price go through to the final.
Another investigation as well, I believe, for Kleinschmidt, maybe speeding in the switch zone as well.
No.
So they had a bad day yesterday, getting knocked into the crazy race anyway because other people got promoted. They thought they were in a semi-final as Veloce bring their slightly damaged car home, and Christine GZ just plying on the handbrake, just trying to slow that car down. Looks like she's in a little bit of pain there. Remember, coming back from that injury last time out. But my word, what a race. And it does look like that Chip Ganassi racing team have finally got a little bit of luck.
I don't know what was going on for Christine GZ there. You never pull the handbrake in that fashion unless you've got some sort of an issue. So unless she's lost front brakes and has only had the handbrake, but then you'd be pulling on it longer. So yeah, a bit of an issue for them. Either way, they're P3. Of course, Gilmore with the roll. There was I mean, there's, you know, crazy race. It absolutely was. I think it's lived up to its name fully there. I do feel for Kleinschmidt and Alatia, you know, triple whammy. Okay, we're actually going to go and have a chat with Nasser Alatia now. So Nasser is in the Vodafone Business Command Centre. Nasser, unlucky, you came in with a sizable lead, but then it looked like you had a problem on the exit of the switch zone. What happened from your point of view?
Yeah, actually, you know, I did my best time, you know. I was really concentration and I tried to push, you know, but okay. I think Jutta, she dropped one flag, you know, and this will be disappointed, you know, for all the teams, but okay. What we can do, you know, we'll see for second race.
I know you must be gutted. It's been a tough weekend, I think, for everybody, but you showed what you can do out there. And now it's just a case of waiting for race control, I suppose.
Yes, we are waiting for race control and just, okay, we did our best, you know, the team really working very hard all this weekend, you know, but okay, we cannot do any more, but we'll see now. We learn a lot from this race and I hope, you know, second race will be better.
It was certainly a crazy race, crazy by name, crazy by nature. I tell you what, it looks really hot out there. What are conditions like? Just take us into your world for a moment.
We are crazy, you know, because it's a crazy race and, you know, we try to push a lot, you know, and we're sweating, it's very hot, you know, but okay, doesn't matter, you know, we try to do our best, but okay, thanks for everybody. It was a nice race.
Tell you what, you've got an important role to play still, though, I believe, because grid play, you got so many votes. You were the fans' favourite. Everybody's rooting for you, and now you're going to have a big decision of who to give your votes to, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank for all the fans, you know, and all the support, you know, to support us. And I don't know who will be the lucky today to give him our position, you know.
Thanks, Nasser. We wish you the best of luck for round 3. It's been a pleasure watching you. Nice to see all smiles from Nasser Al-Attiyah. You know, obviously they're disappointed, but yeah, he said we are crazy. It was a crazy race in every way, shape and form.
Still waiting for official confirmation from race control about any penalties. So in 4th place, unfortunately for Emma Gilmore, that roll finished them no time. In 3rd, Woolridge and GZ 30 seconds back. Carla Duke and Sarah Price 9.87 seconds back. In the provisional classification, it was a first for Abt Cupra with a time of 10 minutes and 13 seconds.
Well, we'll see, won't we? Race control to make the decisions there. We've caught up with, well, Laura's down now with Tanner Fowles from McLaren.
Oh, Tanner, so sorry to see. First and most importantly, how is Emma doing?
Yeah, Emma's okay, so obviously that is the most important thing. It's really unfortunate you come into the crazy race. Obviously, 4 cars going into 2 lanes, essentially, it gets tight. There always has to be some give and take, and the worst case scenario is when the cars are absolutely dead even. So each driver is going to go for it, and so it looked like it was just a bit of tire-to-tire contact. Hopefully, that steering wheel sometimes can turn. Hopefully it didn't catch her hand. We haven't heard on that, but overall she's okay, and that's what matters.
Yeah, the car's due back any moment on a forklift truck. Round 3 is coming up in just 1 day's time. I know we haven't seen the car or assessed the damage, but from the looks of things from where you were standing or from talking to the team, do you know anything about the extent of the damage and how quickly it'll take to get it back going, especially with limited resource here?
When you see a roll like that, it looks very slow motion and everything, but when you see it tumble a second time, you know there's a lot of energy in that. And as fast as these little Odysseys, big Odysseys are, they were probably going quite quick. It didn't look like any sudden impacts, but you just feel for the guys, you know, with a zero, you know, carbon footprint type of race like this, your actual footprint is quite small. So that means we have very few staff. There's really 3 guys that are going to be wrenching on this, and they've got 1 day to turn it around. So fingers crossed that nothing big is bent, but they certainly will have their work ahead of them.
Thanks, Tanner. All the best for round 3.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, such disappointment for them. Big damage last time out in Saudi. Let's take a re-look at the start then. You'll be able to see what exactly happens as the Hummer EV goes down alongside the NEOM McLaren. They're absolutely level. The Hummer EV just gets ahead, but then you can see Emma Gilmore rolling, and it is a big impact for her. She's out the car, which is the main thing, but this is the other angle, the drone shot. So she just gets that hillock and just rolls the car. There's nowhere for her to go. And unfortunately, that big pile of dust is Emma Gilmore upside down, spinning around. 1, she goes, and again.
It's top left corner I'm worried about, Jenny. It was the initial impact on the first roll. The second roll was in the undergrowth, and while it won't have been a fun ride for Emma, it won't have been, you know, there hopefully won't be too much damage from that, but we'll see.
This is the moment when Price goes spinning out and then reverses. Woolridge does such a good job to avoid a massive shunt into the back of that car.
I want to see his onboard, the angle. I mean, imagine you just look at the bushes, you know, I haven't got any choice, I'm going to drive through that tree. Good job, Lance.
This is the switchover zone then. This is where Kleinschmidt takes over from Al-Attiyah, and we think this is where the problems occurred. So we know that the waypoint turn was down at waypoint 6, I think it was, but the switch zone, the infringement.
The switch, and that's what we saw that we were concerned about.
So the battle was on then between Christine GZ and Carla Duke, and unfortunately for Christine, she just couldn't hold up against the might of Leduc coming through. It took him a while. It wasn't easy, and certainly Christine GZ did not make it easy, but look, there's a point going round on the inside level and then managing to try again here through the water jump, and this is where he did it. Took the inside line and just got a better exit, and unfortunately for Christine GZ, wasn't able to fight back. He off into the sunset and closing down on the Abt Cupra, finishing 9.872 seconds behind that lead car. Will penalties come? That's the question. We'll have to wait for race control.
So result of the crazy race as it stands, but remember this is provisional because car number 125 are under investigation for leaving early and also knocking down a waypoint flag. So will it be them? Or will it be Ganassi going through?
Well, grid play is one of the deciding factors. Let's find out a bit more about it.
In the build-up to the final at each Extreme E X-Prix, fans can show their support and vote for their favourite teams and drivers through grid play, with voting taking place via the Extreme E website. The team that collects the most votes win grid play and gets first grid position picked for the final, and have an opportunity to massively influence the start of the race. But there is a twist. The teams that do not reach the final can donate their votes to any other team, with the winners of the crazy race unable to receive any additional votes. With a strong start being key to a good X-Prix result in Extreme E, grid play can make or break a team's chances of success. Which team will emerge as firm fan favourites?
So, wowzers bedowsers, we have had a really good lot of racing already, and remember, the final is still on the way.
We've just seen the penalties come through. Leduc and Price are through to the final. 10-second penalty confirmed for car number 125. So this is Johan Kristoffersson, and we're looking at a potential dream team, Jenny, and this is based on lap times, isn't it? And at the minute, the fastest lap time pairing would be Johan and Katie Munnings.
What a power pairing. And I tell you what, Katie Munnings not able to get through to the final, which is disappointing for her, but RXR are through to the final. They have a 30-point standing at the moment. The closest team to them is the Acciona Science team. They have made it through to the final as well. They have 18 points to their name, but there's so much drama still to come in this. What a great lineup. Number 99, Chip Ganassi Racing team will take on JBXE, Acciona Science. The Excite Energy team going through with that new driver pairing of Molinaro and Scheider, and RXR. Can anyone stop them?
Well, we'll see. If it's not them, would the dream result be that result that was taken away from Price and Leduc last year? You'll have to join us later on today to find out. Cannot wait for the finals of round 2 of Extreme E.
Hyperdrive